Hello and welcome back to my garden. Today I am harvesting my garlic. It took a while to actually figure out what had been growing in my garden. There was some debate about what it actually was. For a while I thought it was onions. It was not until the garlic that I was growing grew scapes that I figured out what it was. So my knowledge of garlic up until now has been very limited. I didn't really know much about it other than I like to eat it. That's about the extent of it. So I've been doing my research to learn more about it and figure out how I can harvest it and have it for future use. So I do have some that I have already picked. This probably is the best bulb that I have. I did not grow this garlic. It took me a while to even figure out how it got here because I've been here for almost a year now and I did not grow garlic last season. So my only guess is that it was grown before, and last summer when we got here I had no idea that it was here, because when I tell you the gardens are a mess, we're a mess, I'm not joking. It was so hard to tell what anything was back here in my garden. So I'm guessing they just stayed underground and grew themselves again. I'm not sure, because typically I have learned you don't plant garlic until the fall, and then you can harvest it the next summer. So this really is about the best looking bulb that I have. Looks like your classic garlic. So this is hardneck garlic. Hardneck garlic are the ones that grow the scapes, which is the flower that grows on top of the garlic. And I actually have one here where I missed one of the scapes. So this is what it actually looks like if you don't harvest it. And it's good to harvest these because instead of the plant taking all of the energy to grow this flower, it actually puts the energy back into growing the bulb. You can see this bulb is much smaller than the other one that I grew. But you could actually take these off now and plant these. But I've read that you can do this, but it will be a couple years until you actually see any sort of real growth that you would be able to harvest from this. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to plant regular garlic, not the flowers from this or the bulbs from this, because I have found that it's exciting to have garlic in my garden. So like I said, I picked a bunch already. Unfortunately, some are very small. So here's one that I have. I mean, I don't even know that I'd be able to do anything with this. It's very small. Nothing like your normal head of garlic. And I've also had some casualties. So this one is one that I accidentally shoveled in half. So I think today when I harvest, I'm going to use my small shovel. I had been using a bigger shovel, and I think that's where I'm just running into problems. So I'm going to run you over to where my garlic is and show you what to do and when you know how it's ready. Another thing too is that since I didn't plant this garlic, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's literally just all over the place. And I actually, just last week, found more scapes that hadn't bloomed yet, so I've been using those. I did dry a bunch of garlic and made garlic powder with it, which I've been using, but last night I just took some of the scapes that I had in my fridge and I cut them up real small and I threw them in with some zucchini and some beans that I had from my garden, and it was delicious. So I'm going to get set up and show you the garlic and show you how you can harvest it. Alright, right here in front of me is some of the best looking garlic that I have. I have high hopes that these are going to give me some good big bulbs. You typically harvest garlic in the beginning of summer, so late June, early July, and you want to wait until like the bottom set of leaves have started to brown, which these have all done. I do have some. There's garlic everywhere. Like here's a patch over here. A lot of it is just laid down most of the growing season, and it has been brown for a while. So I'm really not sure how well that's going to do. But what you want to do is just take your little shovel and make sure you're going around where you think the bulb may be, so that you're not going to injure it like I did with a couple of the bulbs that I already have. So I'm just going to go grab my shovel and we'll get these dug up. I'm excited to see what they're going to look like. got him. There we go. So look at those roots on there. That's a good sized garlic. So here you can see that is a good looking one. I figured that these real healthy, big looking ones would yield some good garlic. So I'm excited about this. I love garlic, and so does my neighbor, which I will be sharing this with her. And maybe a couple other members of family or friends who enjoy garlic just as much as I do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set these down and start digging up the rest. These ones are sticking right up out of the ground. I can see them, but you can tell how deep their roots are. These, I think they're all grown together. There we go. Just knock some of that dirt off. 1, 2, 3. It's okay, so I actually have 5 bulbs of garlic here. They're all grown together, which I'm not sure I would recommend doing. I didn't grow this, like I said. This was grown by the previous owner, and I don't think I would bunch them so close together like that. You can see like there's like little indents here where the growth was inhibited by the other bulbs of garlic because they were so close together. So I definitely won't be doing that next time I plant my garlic. But I think they're still pretty good looking bulbs. They've got real healthy root systems on them. So I think they'll be okay. They're just a little bit smaller than I, would typically prefer. But hey, free garlic that I didn't grow or that I didn't plant, like, I'll take it. And let me tell you, it smells so good right now. It smells delicious. So I have a couple other really big plants. I have one actually right in front of me that looks like they're all grouped together as well. So I'm not sure how big they're gonna be, but I do have this one big one over here that I'm anxious to get dug up. So I'm gonna dig that one up and then just go around the garden and see what I can find. It's everywhere in the garden. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just all over the place. So I'm gonna dig up this real big one first, and hopefully it yields a big bulb of garlic. It looks like there's actually 2. I don't know what this is that's growing here. I don't know if it's a weed or it's supposed to be a flower or what. This one's really deep. I hope I don't injure it. Okay. Well, here's 2 little ones. Looks like there's one more other little one here. Let me see if I can get that out. Okay, there's that one. Now, let's get this big one out of here. It's really deep. I'll have to look. I haven't looked much into how you actually plant garlic, because I don't need to do that now. Now I'm interested in the harvesting of it. I'm not sure how deep you're supposed to plant them, but it seems like these ones didn't have like any sort of conventional planting. Some are really close to the soil, and like this one is really far down in the soil, and I just don't want to hurt it because it seems to be really big. Wouldn't it be funny if I pulled it up and it was like this tiny little thing? I've seen people do that with carrots before. Alright, I see the bulb now. Just gotta get under those roots. It's actually bending my shovel. Oh, I hope it's worth all this work. Making me work for it. We got it. Oh yeah, look at that baby. This thing is huge. That is like a perfect, ideal bulb of garlic. And it smells so good. Whew, that was a workout. It's hot in the sun out here getting these out of the ground. So yay, I'm excited. A huge bulb of garlic. So I'm just gonna go around now and I'm gonna dig up all the rest of them, and I think I'm gonna end up with a pretty healthy harvest of garlic. I'm super excited for that. A lot of the garlic that I'm digging up from this spot right here, I must have missed the scapes because they've grown the flowers on them. So given that and the fact that they're so tightly grown together, I think that I'm gonna get some pretty small bulbs from here. These are all small too, but they're still perfectly good enough to use. But a lot of these have scapes on them that I just missed. Like I said, I just found some along this fence line next to me over here from the other day that I had missed the scapes on, and luckily they had not flowered yet, but they were very close. I think probably because they're closer to the shade is one of the reasons that they hadn't yet, but I think this is going to yield some pretty small bulbs of garlic. Okay, I have harvested the garlic. Are you all ready to see this? I'm a little overwhelmed, I have to be honest. I did not know that there was this much garlic growing in my garden, but here goes. This huge mound of garlic is not even all of it. There's actually some of it growing down along this fence line over here that honestly I don't think I'm gonna get to it. The ones that I did pick from over there did not grow very well. I think it's just the placement of it was not great. So my task now is to go through all of this lovely smelling garlic. So the next thing you want to do is you need to cure your garlic. First things first, never run your garlic underwater to get all of the dirt off of the roots. You do not want to do that. Introducing moisture to the garlic is going to harm it, and it's not going to be good. You don't want to do that. That's why, like, I had planned on harvesting the garlic for a couple of days this week, and we finally got rain, which was much needed and appreciated, but you don't want to harvest your garlic when it's wet out either. So do it when it's dry, late June, early July, and do not introduce any source of water to it because it will ruin your garlic. Also, while I was harvesting garlic, I found potatoes. I am growing potatoes, but not anywhere near where these potatoes were. And I did notice some other ones out there. I don't think this little baby one is really cute and looks quite good actually, but the other one attached to it, I don't think it's very good. It wasn't even planted. It was just like laying on the ground, so I'm not sure what that's about. Also, I found this huge garlic scape. Look how big this thing is. It's ginormous. Like the stalky, here, let me put you down, sorry. The stalky part of this is very tough, and I'm not sure that I would want to use it, but look at the size of this. Like this up here would be better to use. It's a little bit more bendy. This down here is kind of hard and like fibrous. I'm not sure that I would want to use that, but this thing is ginormous. I've never seen a garlic scape so big. The other thing that I found while pulling up all the garlic is look at all these little baby garlics. I don't know because, like I said, I haven't researched a whole lot about planting the garlic, but I'm wondering if I might be able to plant these this fall for a harvest for next summer. I'm not sure though. Should the garlic be dry? Should it be wet and fresh? I'm not sure. I have no idea. So I have to do my research on that still, but I am going to set aside all these little baby ones because if I can grow them for next year, I will. And the nice thing about garlic, from what I know about it, is that it's kind of like a set it and forget it kind of thing. You're going to plant it in the fall and leave it be, and then by the time spring comes, they start to come up really quickly. And by early summer, you have an amazing harvest, obviously, of garlic. So, okay, so back to what I was saying. You want to, once your garlic is out of the ground, you need to cure it. So, first thing, no water. Next thing you want to do is lay them out in a dry, flat place where they're not laying all on top of one another, because you want to dry your garlic out. And this will be best for storage. So you can store your garlic anywhere from 6 to 9 months, especially the hardscape kind, which is what I'm growing here. But you want to, by curing them, you're leaving them out to dry, and you're getting all the moisture, any extra moisture out. And then what you do is, let me find one. You're gonna come back once you've cured your garlic. I'm having some trouble today with my camera, sorry. We'll just do this. So what you do after your garlic is cured is you're gonna come in with a pair of scissors, and you're gonna snip this root part here, not too close to the bulb. And you're also going to snip part of the stem. You also don't want to snip too close to the stem. You want to leave a good few inches there, and then you're going to store it. As far as storing goes, leave it in a dry, dark place. A brown paper bag would be great. No plastic. Plastic is going to introduce moisture, which is going to make your garlic go bad, and you would lose your beautiful harvest. And then really you're limitless in what you can do with your garlic harvest. So like I said, I'm a little overwhelmed. I knew there was a lot of garlic. I was not expecting this much garlic. So I have this lovely bench here that my husband made for me. And he, while I was napping the other day, because I took a day to myself, and it was lovely. And I'm also taking a day to myself today. I don't have to work today, and it's just a day for me where I can do whatever I want. So he put up the bench, and then while I was napping the other day, he put up this whole little hangy thing, and he put molding on it, and he hung all my stuff. Well, it's not all my stuff, but he gave it a good start. And Garden of Weeden could not be truer, because there's so many weeds in my garden right now. But I just love this, and this is covered. So there, I don't want to trip over my cucumbers. This is covered. He made this when we put the new roof on, which we have a new metal roof now, which is beautiful. But he made a covered space for me where I could have my potting bench. So, and it doesn't get wet under there. So I am going to spread out all of my garlic onto my bench and get it dried out. You want to let it sit for 2 to 3 weeks, and then, like I said, you have limitless, things that you can do. Sorry. Here I am. You have limitless things that you can do with your garlic once you get it dried out and cured. So I'm going to go ahead and clear off my bench. I have a feeling it's not all going to fit, because you don't want them sitting on top of one another, like I said. So we'll see what I can do after that. But you want it to leave it in a place where it's not going to be in direct sun, and it's not going to be in any sort of rain or moisture. So I'm going to get started with that, and see how much we actually have. I don't know if I'm going to count them all, but I bet there's got to be 100. It's crazy. I have just completed laying out all of the garlic. I knew it wasn't all going to fit on my potting bench, so here's what I was able to get on the bench, trying to get most of, or all of the bulbs into a single layer. I had to move some down onto the ground. These slabs of granite finally came in use for something. I used them to place my garlic on, so I have 2 slabs of granite full of garlic. And then I also have this this bag over here with probably close to 50 tiny little bulbs that I'm thinking I can use to actually grow my garlic for the fall. I did a very rough estimate count. Just laying out right here, I have very close to 250 bulbs of garlic. Oh my god, like that's incredible. Yes, some of them are pretty small, like this one here is pretty small, but it is a perfectly formed bulb of garlic. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just smaller than, you know, a typical one that you would find in a grocery store. But I didn't grow these in a grocery store. They're growing in my garden, which is amazing. So they're going to sit here now for about 2 to 3 weeks while they dry out, and then I have so many ideas of things that I'm going to be doing with them. So when I catch up with you next time for a garlic video, they will all be dry and I will be ready to distribute them to friends and family and get them into the house and start doing things with them. It smells really good back here. It's amazing. I'm just really overwhelmed with the amount of garlic that there ended up being, and I'm really happy. Like honestly, this could be a lifetime of garlic for someone. I am going to share the fruits of my labor. And honestly, it wasn't even much labor at all. I put a little bit of sweat equity in it today, just getting it out of the ground. But I didn't even grow it, which is fantastic. There wasn't, like I said, some of them were so close to the top of the soil. Some of them are really down deep. And I think that for my next harvest, I will yield much better results if I am putting them in a part of the garden, first of all, where they're going to grow well, and secondly, planting them uniformly. So, you know, they're all in the same depth, the same space apart, not all bunched together, because I know that some of these bigger ones would have been even bigger had they not been all clumped together, because they just weren't able to grow to their full potential because they were just too clumped together. So I am going to go clean up and relax and enjoy the rest of my day. So thanks for hanging out with me for part of your day, and I will see you guys next time.